Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be Master Seducer. Well, I've got two emails from two different guys. The first one is from a dude in Jamaica who's doing really well with the ladies. Young guy, I think he's only 21. The second one is a great success story also. This guy happens to be based in the United States. And what's really cool is just recently he got together with his high school crush who had originally rejected him back when he was in high school, and he asked her to prom. So it's two pretty good success stories. So I got a quote that I wrote in this topic, and then we're going to go through both of their emails and see what these guys have done to get what they want in their personal lives. And the quote says, "Attraction is not a choice that people make. It is something that is naturally handled by Mother Nature. We can't control whom we find attractive, but we can reveal or uncover an attraction that is already there and make it grow. Becoming sure of your own value and acting like someone who is congruent with believing in their own value creates a vibe of confidence, certainty, inevitability, and attractiveness. It is not arrogance, but a humble, matter-of-fact personal reality or truth. It means living a life and lifestyle that is pleasing to you despite what others may think about you. Living your personal truth without fear or regret, and only spending your time with people who respect, value, and appreciate you. High-value people do not allow others into their inner circle who don't value or treat them properly. As the old saying goes, you are most like the 5 people that you spend most of your time with. So choose very wisely who you allow into your inner circle. Because what you tolerate in your life means you will invite more of that. And if you're allowing people to abuse you, or you're allowing people into your life who are taking advantage of you or not treating you the way you want, that sends a signal to the universe that you are okay with that, and those same kinds of people will continue to show up in your life until hopefully you get the message. So let's go through the first guy's email. He says, "Hey Coach, I am Bob," like Bob Marley. It's not his real name, of course. "I'm 21-year-old Jamaican, and I've been following your work for over 5 years now. I'm more like an undercover follower. It has been 5 years now since I am out of any bad relationship." That's awesome, dude. Good for you. "I've been following your work for the relationship was going sideways. And Coach, from the time I left the relationship, I haven't entered into a new one. I started to instead work on myself, and I started watching your videos for 3 years straight. Then I decided I wanted to try out the book. Better late than never. Then I downloaded the book and started reading, and I've now read it 20 times. Well, obviously, that's why you are so successful. Coach, I reached this stage in my life where I am teaching your work. I literally have like 13 girls right now madly in love with me. High quality girls I wouldn't dream I could ever be with. This is what I do now. Whenever they're getting too annoying, I just lower their attraction level towards me by being super needy, LOL." Well, if you think about it, that's one way that you can approach it, because if you try to back away from somebody who's really into you, remember, rejection tends to breed obsession. Scarcity creates value. So if you reject somebody who's really into you, that typically makes them like you more. But if you start acting needy on purpose, it's actually going to turn them off. Never thought about doing it that way, but again, I teach what I've learned and what I know, and it's up to you how you want to use it in your own life, because each of us have our own lives and have what I want for my life is going to be different from every single person that's watching this. And being successful in life, to me, is being able to spend your life in your own way. So let's take what you learn from me and use it to create a life and lifestyle that is pleasing to you first and foremost. Because like the great Stevie Wonder once said, you can't live your life according to other people's expectations. In conclusion, I've reached a stage where I call myself one of the 3% men out there, and it's because of you, and I want to thank you so much. You've changed my life 100%. And only one little thing though, I haven't reached the stage where I become who I want to attract, but it's a process. I'm now in a new job that I have a DJ talent working on. I also got a new talent counseling, not getting paid, but it's getting there. Well, I mean, you're 21. When you're young and you're inexperienced, the only thing you don't really have skills that you've developed that you can offer anybody. Like for me, when I was in college, I was tending bar and waiting tables at night and on the weekends. And my first job in the industry, I started as an unpaid intern, and then Hurricane Andrew hit, and all of a sudden we had all this work, and they offered me a job. So I was willing to work for free because I really didn't. I didn't have anything other than my time that I could offer them because I had no skills, I had no experience. So they were doing me a favor by teaching me the job. And when you're young or you don't have experience in a certain field, you got to be willing to do those things. And then obviously work something on the side like I was doing, tending bar, waiting tables, which was a pretty good living back in the early 90s. And that enabled me to pay my bills, have a new car, have a nice place to live, buy nice furniture, be able to travel a little bit, be able to create a cool little life and lifestyle for myself. But it's a process because the more you learn, the more skills you acquire, the more choices you're going to have. And after you spend a couple of years on a job and you get good at it, you learn all the ins and outs of it, then other people, if you're good at it, if you really have a passion for it, like when after about a year and a half, 2 years when I was in it, I started getting headhunters now calling me because I was doing such a great job that subcontractors and other people in the industry that were working with me were like, that dude Corey, he's pretty sharp. And that's what headhunters do. They tend to social network with people that they know. And if you're good, it's like what Maya Angelou said, don't chase money, but instead do something that you love and learn to do it so well that other people can't take their eyes off of you. And that's basically what happens when you love something and you're passionate about it. You'll immerse yourself in it. You'll become obsessed with it. And you'll be willing to work for free if you don't really have any skills to speak of. And when you become really great at it, headhunters and other people hear about you and they start coming to you. And it's the same thing with your personal life. When you become really successful and people know you, you start to meet other successful people. And if you're a guy, women hear about you and they seek you out. They come find you. The more successful you become, the easier it gets to meet other like-minded people, to become friends with, to have a client relationship with, or people to date. That's why I place such a huge emphasis on focusing on yourself, your goals, your mission, and your purpose in life, and get to a place where you really love what you do and you really love your life, because the happier you are, the more you're going to be inclined to eat better, to take better care of your body. You're going to smile more. And we all love to be around people that are happy. I mean, if you think back to when we were all in high school, why does everybody want to hang out with the captain of the football team or the captain of the cheerleaders? They tend to be popular, they tend to be good looking, they tend to have lots of friends, and everybody wants to be around them. And most of the time, they make other people feel really good because we all want a part of that. We all know when the alpha male or alpha female walks in the room, everybody can just feel it. That's why it's about becoming the kind of person that you want to attract. And this young guy here, he's in the process of doing that, and that's great. He says, so the list that I made of the perfect 10, I'm in the process of attracting that one, but the 6s, 7s, 8s, and 9s are no challenge, and they make it easy. Well, you got to get experience from somewhere. You can read about my book all you want, and you can watch all the videos that you want, but if you're not interacting with other people, you're not going out on dates, you're not practicing seduction skills, you're not practicing seducing a woman and learning to master your own emotional self-control, when you meet somebody that really blows you away, knocks your socks off, you're going to just lose your shit and turn them off and chase them right out of your life. Because a high-status woman, if you're a guy, or a high-status dude, if you're a girl, they're used to being successful, and they're used to being around other like-minded, successful people, and it's incredibly unattractive when they encounter other human beings that have a low opinion of themselves. Because the higher the opinion is of yourself and the more successful you are, in other words, if you feel like you're making progress towards creating the life and lifestyle that you want, you're going to be happy. And the happier you are, the more you're going to radiate that vibration and attract other people to you. So it's great. When you're young, you should date around a lot. You should explore humanity, if you will, to see what you like, what you don't like. Because you don't know what you don't know. The only way to get experience is to have experiences with other people. But reading a book like mine and learning to apply these things from somebody that's succeeded and made a lot of mistakes and done a lot of fucking up in their lives can shave years and decades off your success. Because let's face it, not everybody's got the time to go and learn all these things and go to seminars and read books and go out there and apply it and try to piece things together to learn all this stuff. When you read a book from somebody like me who has succeeded, you can learn the cliff notes, if you will. You can learn what the differences are that make the difference and just do the most successful things that are going to get you the results that you want. And then it becomes a lot easier. The best thing to do is learn from other people, no matter what part of your life you're trying to improve, from people who are already succeeding at the highest level. So I want to thank you so much. Keep up the good work. Let's go to the second guy's email. This was a really short one, but I thought it was a great success story because you know what? This guy, he's the same thing. He's probably 22, 23 years old, and I'd love to have this kind of a memory when I was his fucking age. I mean, I didn't start experiencing things like this till my early 30s. So I'm a little envious of this guy. I mean, think about where he's starting out now in his 20s versus just imagine where he'll be when he's at my age. That makes it all worthwhile. The struggle, because success really isn't a great teacher. It's your failures and the painful things you experience in life that are what cause you to learn the most, because people will do more to avoid pain than they'll do to gain pleasure. And when you have a painful experience like a rejection or somebody that doesn't like you or shoots you down when you ask her to prom and it's like your dream girl, that's a really painful experience. That negative emotional anchor is what drives us to say, you know what, the approach that I'm taking obviously is not working. And when you realize, when you hit the wall, if you will, metaphorically, that's when you realize I need to change how I'm showing up in life. And you go to YouTube or you go to Google and you start searching for answers, and then you come across a book or a website or videos like the ones that I do. Because if you have nothing but success, what's the point of reading and learning? If you're already getting the things you want, again, success really isn't a great teacher, but failure is what really gives you wisdom in life. And it's always best to learn from other people that have already made all the mistakes, so you can avoid those painful experiences and be a young guy like both these dudes are and have, I mean, the guy from Jamaica, it's like, I would have loved to have had those kinds of experiences when I was in my 20s. I didn't lose my virginity until I was fucking 21. This dude's dating over a dozen different women. It's like, that's fucking awesome. I'm so happy for you. So the second guy says, Dear Mr. Wayne, I want to reach out and thank you for your 3% Man book. And for those of you that haven't read it, you can go to my website, subscribe to the email and newsletter, and you can read it for free and start learning it now. Don't do what the other guy did. Even though he's succeeding now, he waited 3 years before he actually got around to reading the book. Some people are just hard-headed. You got to learn the fundamentals. The quicker you learn the fundamentals, the quicker you start applying it, the quicker you're going to get to where you want to be. You can learn a lot from watching the videos, but again, these videos that I do are designed to take real-world examples from guys and girls from all over the world, from every kind of cultural and religious and spiritual background, and see how taking the wisdom that I teach in the book applies in real-world examples, because obviously I can't cover every single kind of example that you're going to encounter in life. He says, when I picked it up, I couldn't put it down until I finished, and I started recommending and sharing it with all of my closest friends. Well, I definitely appreciate all the referrals. And then the results. Wow. Applying the 3% Man principles, gauging her interest in you, giving women the space to come to you, etc. Well, because remember, when you don't think you're good enough and you don't value yourself and you don't perceive yourself as being an awesome catch, you're typically going to try to make up for that feeling of lack, if you will, on the inside by trying to force things. And us guys who are naturally driven to succeed and achieve and do things, we start doing things in order to give ourselves some peace of mind, like we're making something happen. But when it comes to attraction, if a woman finds you minimally, she thinks, he's kind of cute, I'd go out with him. In other words, you got a chance. And so the attraction's already there, but you have to do the right things to get it to grow. And if a guy doesn't believe in himself, he's going to act in a way, and he's going to talk in a way, and it's going to be in his tone of voice, it's going to be in his body language and his physiology that he doesn't think he's worthy. That's why you don't see the captain of the cheerleaders going out on dates with the least popular geeky dude in school. An alpha wants to date another alpha. It's just the way of the world. We're biologically driven to want to mate with the most dominant members of the opposite sex. He says, this has completely changed my life. And recently, I graduated college, and I got back in touch with my high school crush, a beautiful girl with whom, and she's beautiful. He sent some pictures. Pretty hot, dude. I see why you like her. A beautiful girl with whom I struck out, as it happens, in the form of a rejected prom invitation. So obviously that must have stung like hell when she went with some other dude. But here you are, a few years, 4 or 5 years later, and you're getting to go out with the hot girl. He says now she can't keep her hands off of me, and we consummated our relationship last night. The indoor Olympics with your high school crush. Very nice. I had several high school crushes and never got to experience anything remotely like this with any of them. So you have experience now at your young age that I never had and probably never will have, because quite frankly, at my age, most of the women that I went to school with aren't that attractive anymore, even the really hot ones. People get married, they settle down, they don't take care of themselves. Just the way it is. Life wears a lot of people down, and then they have kind of one foot in the grave, and they're kind of on that slow conveyor belt to their grave. It's very sad. She's expressed how shocked she is about it. How did Bob, the puppy dog, turn into such a closer? I wonder. The answer is the 3% man. Cool, dude. I'm really happy for you. I think that's fucking awesome that you got to date and hook up with your high school crush. And who knows? Maybe you'll live happily ever after. Maybe you'll date for a while and eventually you grow apart. But at the end of the day, when you have an experience like this, now you know it. Now you've experienced it. And even if it doesn't work out, you know you're able to get to what, in the future, what to you think, in other words, what you view as being the hottest kind of person. There's no better way to build up a dude's self-esteem than to be walking around town with what he perceives as his dream woman hanging on his arm, who's doting on him and loving on him, and seeing all the other guys and girls look at her and then look at you and then look at her and you again, and going, how did he get that fucking girl? But at the end of the day, it's your birthright to be awesome. We didn't come into this world to be fucking mediocre. We came into this world so we could be awesome and reach our full potential, because we're destined for greatness. The only thing that gets in the way of us becoming great individuals is the beliefs that we hold about ourselves and the methods, the skills, and the techniques that we use to get the things that we want in life. And it's very fulfilling in life when you're able to date the kind of people you want, have the kind of relationships with the kind of people you want, have the kind of friends you want, live in the kind of homes that you want, drive the kind of cars that you want, work the kind of careers that you want, create the kind of businesses from scratch and watch them grow into multi-million-dollar companies. It's pretty awesome. Most people are never going to experience that. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to go to my website, click the products tab at the top of your screen on any page of my website, and book either a phone coaching session or a Skype audio coaching session with yours truly. And I will talk to you soon.